Hi everybody, and welcome to Your Right to Know with Tony DeFazio of DeFazio and Ziden, and we're talking about driving while impaired. We had talked a few weeks ago about driving while impaired and what your rights are right there as you get stopped. But what if you have gotten stopped before, gotten charged before, and that might have been years ago? Do you know that you're still in jeopardy if you get stopped again, and now it could be a felony? Is that right?
Yeah, well, I mean, what happens is the way that the system is designed in New York is that the first time you get arrested for driving while intoxicated, if there's no accident and there's no injury, the objective of the state statute is to cost you a lot of money. It's going to cost you a lot of time. You're going to pay a lot of fines. You're going to pay your lawyer. You're going to pay more in insurance. And the idea is it's going to cost you about $10,000, and you should learn your lesson after that. Yeah. Well, the first thing that's going to happen after an accident is the police are going to treat it a lot more seriously. They're going to treat it like a full-blown crime scene. Mm-hmm. They'll close off the road. They'll bring in specialists from the state police or the sheriff's department, and they will do a full-blown accident investigation. As a result of that, they're going to wind up and take your blood sample, whether you want to or not. They'll go to the judge. They can go to a judge in the middle of the night and get what's called a blood warrant. And they'll be able to take the blood, and some nurse will come over to you when you're in the hospital, because it's likely you're going to be there because of the accident, and they'll just take your blood right out. There's nothing you can do about it. They're going to get that blood tested, and they're going to see whether or not there was narcotics or whether drugs or whether these illegal drugs we talked about or alcohol in your system. Based on that, they're going to charge you with these serious assault and potentially manslaughter charges. The consequences are going to be severe. They are not going to, if there's a victim involved and the victim is seriously injured, whether you know that victim or not, they're going to be looking for state prison sentences. The family will and the judges will, because they're going to look at it like we've given you multiple opportunities. It's probably not your first time doing it, and we have to send a message that, you know, this is not something you can just pay a fine and go home. Those days from 20, 30 years ago, those days are over. This is now taken much more seriously, and people are going to go to prison. And even if it's not as a serious injury, and people will be able to recover and they don't have permanent injuries, something like that, you're going to wind up getting put on probation. And what that means, especially at the felony level, is first of all, the probation officer is going to be your father, essentially. Mm-hmm. He's going to tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to listen to that probation officer, male or female, it doesn't matter. They're going to tell you where you can work. They're going to tell you where you can go to school. They're going to tell you when you can leave the county you live in, which you're restricted from being in. And they're going to tell you can't drive. I don't care what the Department of Motor Vehicle says. You can't drive until I say you can drive. Wow. No conditional, no nothing. You can't drive because I don't trust you. And if you test positive on an alcohol or a drug test, they're going to make you go into rehab. And if you don't make your appointments with them, they're going to violate you, in which case you're going back to that judge, and they're going to tell that judge he doesn't care, she doesn't care, we need to put him in prison. The judge is going to turn around, and they're going to say, if you didn't follow the rules, then you're going to state prison. So you're going to be looking at going to prison for 1 to 4 years, and you won't be driving up there because you're going to be sitting in a cell.
Yeah, and it's really tough because a lot of people think that it's not going to happen to them. You know, I can get from here to there because, you know, I can, and this happens to other people, not me.
Sure. Most of these accidents happen in very short distance from people's houses.
Is that right?
They do not, it's not necessarily long trips or on big highways. It's down the small country roads, you know, 1,000 feet from the house or the bar, and they're just driving home, and it doesn't take much to go over the line and crash into somebody and then, you know, cause a world of hurt for yourself and for that other family.
Yeah, it just changes everyone's life involved. Yeah, so good information to know. Look, enjoy the holidays. Keep an eye out for your friends and your family who might be in this potential situation. Protect them and drink responsibly. That'll do it for this edition of Your Right to Know with Tony DeFazio. We'll see you next week.